Your name is?
Evan Rosato.
Evan, I'm Boris Douglas Garvey. I am the curator, gallerist of this gallery. You are a young artist. You have a fascinating story, and I want to say in advance, I asked permission to talk about this. So you had an operation, a brain operation. What was it?
Yeah, I had a tumor resection, a brain tumor resection.
And how big was it?
It was probably a little bit bigger than the cashew.
But they took out a portion of your brain.
Yes, they took out a good chunk of it.
A good chunk. So my first question is, before we get into your art, did it change your behavior?
It didn't. Actually, surprisingly, it didn't. I would think that it would have altered, but since I have a lot of plasticity, since I was a lot younger, it bridged connections again.
And two, did it change your art?
It did. It did in the sense that I started creating work about my brain tumor. Not so much about the work that I'm doing technically. It didn't change what I was doing technically. And the work that I was doing while I was young and had the brain tumor was very naive, I would say. So I was still in the process of learning. So I think that I guess I had my operation at a good time to then say, then when I had my tumor removed, I was in college, so I was still learning, so I was able to bridge those connections again.
You're very young. How old are you?
I'm 25.
25. So the 5 pieces that we have here, they're of your brain. They're images of your brain, correct?
They are.
And what do you think you're saying in this series? I mean, it has to do with trepidation. How does that connect?
Right. The work that I'm doing is really to dispel the misconceptions about brain tumors, because a lot of people don't experience brain tumors or know about them unless they've experienced them themselves or know someone who's experienced it. So it has a very personal level to understand about brain tumors. So I am taking it as a chance to teach others about brain tumors through visual stimulus, which is a lot easier to understand rather than through a scientific lens to say this is a brain tumor or this is benign. It's easier to see it visually. So that's the work that I'm doing, is to try to teach people about brain tumors and something that's so esoteric.
You are my favorite type of artist in the sense that you also have a cause. You have your art and you have a cause. And I have a feeling maybe this is going to expand where you're going to be an advocate of this type of stuff. Let me ask you this. Has having had this negative experience had some positive effects?
Oh, most definitely. I think that I say this sometimes that I'm glad in a way that I did have some kind of experience like that, because it becomes very humbling to then, it really puts your life in perspective when someone says you have a brain tumor and it's like that, your life could be gone right in that moment. I think that right then it made me really passionate about the art that I was doing. It didn't second guess about me going to college for art and things like that. So it was a very positive experience for me, and I wouldn't take it back for anything.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a tough question, but put all ego aside. Do you think your art is important?
It is, and I say that. And I say that because recently with the work that I've been showing, I've learned that it's become almost a confessional for people to share their experience with me. And I think experiencing some kind of brain issue or brain tumors is really hard to connect with people on that level, to say like, oh, I had a brain tumor, because people don't really know what that means. So then to have a conversation with someone that's experienced it, people have really opened up after seeing the work and of talking to me about their experience, and it's been really great to have that.
Do you know why I connect to you? Because the very first show that I threw was for a friend of mine, Emily Jones, and she also had something wrong with her brain where a part was cut out. Except when she woke up, when she started to paint again, she started painting completely different. So this is fascinating to me. Final thing, what is your advice to young artists?
My advice would be to keep working, especially if you're an artist, to keep working on your work and really figuring things out, and don't give up on it. And even everybody will tell you that you should get a real job, quote unquote. But I think that it's very important to just keep going with your art. And
I do believe you need to get a real job, though.
Well, yeah. While you're working, it's good to have a steady a steady income, because then it just allows you to work
Says
on your
the
work.
man who just got a better job, I hear, tonight.
I
right?
did,
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you enjoying this time in your life?
I am. This is probably the most exciting time in my
This
life.
is the best time of your life.
It is.
And I am so glad that you are in my gallery, that you're showing your art. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Boris.
And you will go far. I know it. Bye-bye. Bye.